It's a first paying gig. So I'm doing places around, and I'm doing it for over a year. And I'd say 3-4 nights a week I'd go out. I was still going to law school, and I had a job that I was doing. But I'd be out 3-4 nights a week at some place. And then I was hanging out at this bar called the Child Harold on DuPont Circle in D.C. And it was a live music place. And the bartender was my friend, and he told the owner something about, because I was always in there making jokes and, causing a scene. And he said, the guy, he's doing stand-up comedy now. He's doing comedy. So the owner comes over to me. He's a famous bar owner in D.C. named Bill Hurd, wild guy. And he said, you want to open up for this band next week? I'll give you like $50. I'm like, someone's going to pay me to do this? I'm like, $50, right? And he says, yeah. And so the next week I show up, and on the marquee out front it says, from New York City, the Ramones. Now, this is 1978. I don't know anything about punk. I'm still in my kind of long hair, painter bib overalls, Jackson Brown period. And I walk in. This place is packed. Now, this is my memory. It might have been like, the place only held 100 people anyway. It might have been like 80, but it was definitely not my scene. They were all much younger guys, all guys. It seemed like all guys, leather, bare-chested, the pumped up hair, safety pins through the cheek, all this stuff, and I get back to the bar, and Bill Hurt's laughing. He goes, "You're not going to make 15 minutes in front of this crowd," because you can just feel the testosterone. You can feel the anger. Just like the whole crowd's and so I said, "Yeah, I'm going to make the 15 minutes because I want that $50." To me, it was like a rodeo event. I'm going to be on there till the buzzer goes. I didn't care. I already been experiencing that in my little career to that point. I didn't care. He's like, you won't make 5 minutes. I'll go double or nothing. You don't make 5 minutes. I said, I'll take it. So I don't know if they introduced me. I don't know if they did. It was probably the only thing the audience heard was, "Please welcome your opening act, not the Ramones." I had to. It wasn't like I come out from behind a curtain or from backstage. It was just in the room, one of those little stages, 6-inch rise or plywood. I have to walk through the crowd to get there. They are booing me. They are hissing me. That I even got to the stage, man. Like they instinctively knew I was no good. I get to the stage, and I just start doing my act. I don't have any kind of improv skills at this point. I have a little 15 minutes I've cobbled together. I'm just A to B to C. I start to my act, and they're booing me, and I don't know how long I was into it. Not even a minute, maybe. And one of the guys just takes his mug of beer and shoots his beer at me, and just catches me right in the face with beer. I don't even move, man. First, I'm jammed in. The drum kit's right behind me. Amplifier. It's a tiny little stage microphone. I'm just jammed in. I just stand there holding the mic like I got hit with ocean spray in the front of the boat. Just shake it off. Anyway, my mom said, right back to my act. Yeah, no reaction other than spit out some beer and go right back to my act. And the guy next to me says, "Well, he didn't move on this beer. Let's see what he does with this one." And so he hits me with a beer. And pretty soon, everybody's into the act. It's like they got real organized. It was like a deli. They were taking numbers. Everybody was. It was very. My friend said, the bartender says, the most schizophrenic show he'd ever seen in his life. That somebody would hit me with a beer, the whole crowd would cheer. I start talking, they'd start booing. It was just, "Yay, boo! Yay, boo!" And it didn't take long for Bill Hurd to he's like, "This is not good." All the beers flying at the stage, amplifiers there, microphones. So he's waving the money back. "All right, come get your money. Come on." So I go off. I don't know I don't think I said thank you, good night. I had no sense. I just left. There was no dressing room. There was just the kitchen behind the bar. And I go back there. I'm soaked with beer, head to toe, just soaked. I get backstage. Ramones are standing there in the kitchen waiting to go on. Just like 3-4 guys, and leather and guitars and long hair. And I go back there. I'm toweling beer off. And one of the Ramones looks at me and goes, "Cool act, man." So, when the book I Killed came out, Mark Schiff and I put this book I Killed out. It was all road stories. And I put a version of that Ramones story. It's changed because a friend of mine who was there filled me in on some of the details that I'd forgotten. But so we put a version of the Ramones story in there. And a guy, a critic from Washington Post said he was a music critic back then, and he remembered no opening act for Ramones that night. He was there at the Child Harold, and he disputed my story. And so the guy who sort of tipped me off that that's why we didn't get any review in the Washington Post for our book, I sent him an email. I said, look, man, there's a guy's phone number right here. My friend, you can call him up, man. He was there. And I did it. I'm telling you, I did it. And he said, well, I'm sorry, man. The guy won't change. And then a year later, right after the book been out for like a year, this guy contacts me and says, hey, I got to apologize to you. You know, I thought there was no opening act. And somehow this thing came up, conversation with my wife the other night. And she says, oh, no, don't you remember there was a disturbance to the front of the stage? So that would be like the title of my next tour, a disturbance at the front of the stage. If I ever did tours, it would be a disturbance at the front of the stage. That was always my favorite description of my act back then.